Hong Kong racing heads to Happy Valley on a Wednesday night for a 9-race card there. We've looked at the third. We're going to look at the final race now, race number 9, which is a Class 3 over the 1,200 metres. Really strong lineup here, headed by Drops of God, John Size, Joe Mayer, Barrier 5. He's beaten favourite by Valiant Elegance last time out. We've got Nam Jong Sings, who won 2 starts back. Smart Idea has won 4 times this season. Harry Bentley's been on board for all of them. Classic Posh, runner-up to Starbright last month. Valiant Elegance has won his last 3, and Lyle Hewitson back from suspension is on board there. Wood on Fire's won 5 times course and distance. Peter Ho and Matthew Poon down to Reciprocation. Very close to a class drop here and gets the visitors draw. Barrier number 12 for Richard Gibson and Dylan Moe. All right, as always, we start off with the speed map here to see where they all land. Tom, we've got a full field here to sort out with probably Valiant Elegance out in front.
Well, he was the exception last time out when he won because he didn't lead, and so I thought he was just a one-dimensional horse, Paul, that had to lead, and I think Connections was slightly surprised that he didn't lead and was still able to win. But Nam Jong Sing should be in close attendance if he's not there, and Drops of God as well from 5.
Yeah, the difference being in this race was there was about 4 or 5 horses that wanted to lead last time, and the only one that could possibly lead is Nam Jong Sing's, but he'd be happy to let Valiant Elegance go. So from barrier 9, I thought he would go back to what he would like to do and lead. The problem horse could be Super Dobbin because he likes to go forward as well, and he's drawn wide. So I expect him, he'll need a bit of luck. But horses like Your My Everything, Reciprocation, they tend to go back.
All right, OK, but Super Dobbin might inject a little bit more speed into the race, possibly. But Valiant Elegance on his last 3 runs has proved very difficult to beat. Impossible in actual fact. His jockey is Lyle Hewitson.
Lyle, Valiant Elegance is a horse that I imagine holds a place in your heart. He's been a really good friend of yours.
Yes, he's been pretty special to me in Hong Kong. Obviously, he's racked up 4 wins in 5 starts for me. So yeah, it's fantastic, and I just wish we could continue on that upward trend.
That first run in Class 3 last time was obviously very good. He got the win. You look to get a fair kick out of that as well.
Yeah, it felt really good. Just the fact that he's a horse that was down in Class 5 at the end of last season, and he's just kept winning for me, which is fantastic, and found himself winning in Class 3. And it came as a bit of a surprise. I mean, we knew the horse was well in that, but it was a step up, and the fact that he could do it with the change of tactics was something that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, as you say, 12 months ago, I think he won a Class 5 or 39 rated. He's come a fair way since then. Talking on just tactics, I mean, he's led, he took a lead last time. Is he a very versatile horse?
Well, we never ever thought so. He hadn't shown much from when he had been in behind, but obviously when the pace is quick enough that he's in a rhythm behind him, then it shows that there's no problem with that. So there's no need to change how we plan to ride him, and if things fall into place like they did last time, well, we know he can absolutely accelerate off that and still perform very well. So it does give us a few more options.
I know it's only a mini milestone, if you will, but if he was to win, that would bring up 20. He was your first winner of the season. He was your first winner back as well, so quite appropriate.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Like I said, I do think he's got his work cut out. Last time, like I said, it did come as a little bit of a surprise, but I won't discount him.
And just in the race, obviously, I mean, things do get that bit tougher for him going forward. Did you feel he can still hold his own in a race like this?
Yeah, well, his times suggest that he can, and the way he won last time I thought was probably the best out of all his wins. So maybe it's just a horse that is coming to his own, and he had the wind operation last season, and it's just seemed to improve throughout every start now, and he's just got better and better.
So, how's the handicapper caught up with Valiant Elegance? That's the big question, isn't it? Let's have a look at that race again, guys, because Lyle talking about the change in tactics. This is from the gates. We'll just get them out and get them rolling before we can highlight all the different runners here. But just pause it there for a second so I can show you Valiant Elegance. Even top. Now, normally he'd be rolling forward, but you can see Lyle looking across. You can see all the speed inside him, so he's happy to drop in here. The other horses to note, Drops of God out wide. Joe was very positive there. Killer Instinct, he's sitting back in the field in the pink jacket. We've got Classic Posh, not the quickest out of the gates there, Classic Posh, and Family Folks, who gets a tough run, Tom, from that outside.
Yeah, so he's looking to sum up the situation here is Lyle, and all that speed, the likes of Magic Phoenix, Mercurial, I think it might be Jolly Good Heart there as well, Flaming Passion, have all kicked up, and it's actually allowed him to get a fairly decent run, Paul, that he's sort of slotted in there, even though he has over-raced a little bit in that first turn.
Yeah, look, we know he likes to lead, but it shows that he doesn't have to lead. I think this is what that highlights as well. And you could see with that, and there was so much pace in the race, he actually ended up getting the race run to suit and came down the outside and won. So, yeah, it was a nice win from him. I just wonder with this race, though, there's not so much pace and he's drawn a little bit out there in 9, what he will do from that draw.
And he's going from 115 to 121 pounds. Douglas White's done a good job with him, 47 up to 62 this season, but I do wonder if the winning run might be teetering towards the end of it.
Yeah, well, you saw Drops of God down there on the inside. He's got a £6 swing in the weights. We can see him perfectly this time, Valiant Elegance. This is the start before, and you can see, Paul, on this occasion, no competition for the lead. He just fires to the front.
Yeah, and away he goes and wins nicely. So, yeah, it's just what he's going to do from barrier 9 this race. If I can't see him tucking in because he's not going to have 4 or 5 horses going for the lead like he did have in that previous race. So to prevent a wide run, I think he'll go back to type and go back to the front.
He's carried 122, 130 to win, albeit in lesser grades. Class 4, this is a step up again to carry 121 here in Class 3. I've just got a few question marks of whether he can do it.
Yeah. Well, that was his first start in Class 3 last time out, that preview race that we looked at, and he won it. So we'll see what he can do. But the overall stats, now you can see Lyle's stats, Paul, 4 from 5, and course and distance as well, 4 from 15 with the same amount of minor placings too.
Yeah, he's going really well, isn't he? Look, the horse is in good form. It's just whether he's reached his mountain. I thought he'd reached his mountain the start before this, and he came out and won again. So I'm still going to take the view that he might be there, and so Look, I'm not going to include him.
He was in Class 5 last season.
Yeah, it's a great performance all round. It's a great story. Let's see how long it goes for. Let's keep rolling though. Namjong Singh's Thomas, who we look at next here in the red blinkers, close to the front as they swing in. Other ones to look out for. Wood on Fire's got a good course and distance winner record. Lyrical Notion and Smart Idea as well. He's had a good season.
Yeah, things might have just sort of slightly gone against Smart Idea in this run, but hard to sort of fault the way he's been going. I've had a little bit of time for Lyrical Motion. He's gradually getting there. Wood on Fire seemed to sit a little bit closer last start. And Paul, Namjong Singh's was wide the first turn. He got up outside the leader, and I thought probably after that he had every chance.
He did. Look, I quite like the way that Wood on Fire boxed on here. Just towards the end, you could see him making ground on them as well. He's going to be a decent price. He's won off this rating before, so I'm just going to take him at a bit of value here.
All right, here's Namjong Singh's again, Paul. He's getting a good run out. The other one to keep an eye on is You're My Everything towards the back there.
Yeah, look, he won his debut run coming from the back, You're My Everything. Maybe slightly disappointing since then, but Namjong Singh's, he got out and rolling and he won nicely. Now, if Valiant Elegance doesn't want the lead, then he's the natural one to take his place. He's the alternative leader, and you can see it's worked for him as well. So he wouldn't be upset leading by any stretch of the imagination.
Of course, the horse that was second there was Rising from Ashes. He's come out and won well since. Sort of gone off You're My Everything. Nice win first up, but hasn't gone on with it. Right,
now back at the gates for this one. This is Classic Posh from barrier number 10. And the other one you've got to look out for is Super Dominant. He's drawn lower, but I thought he actually jumped okay here, Tom, Classic Posh, but they generally go back with him.
Yeah, he's never normally the quickest out of the blocks as Classic Posh. He actually jumped away okay there, and he ended up settling well back. That was from barrier 10, so Luke Curry on this occasion was looking to sum up the situation and get in and get some cover. And he's run second here, Paul, to Starbright, who's won well here. And look, he's received a good enough run down the outside. The horse to his inside is Power Kep. Of course, we've seen him win.
Yeah, we have. Now, he did win his debut run this season in Class 3, did Classic Posh at Happy Valley. And when he won, he was back in the field and ran on. This was a really good run, back in the field and run on. When he has run most of his starts, it's better if he gets back. So, look, even if he jumps well, I'll be surprised if they're better than midfield with him.
All right. Very competitive finish tonight then, Paul. Drops of God's our favourite. Still plenty of support, though, for Valiant Elegance.
Yeah, there is. And, he's in form, isn't he? He keeps winning. It's just whether he's reached the top of the mountain yet. I'm going to go with one at an each-way value here, Wood on Fire. He's currently at 14 and 4.3. He's won off this rating before, and he comes in with a light weight. So he's on top. Drops of God just has to carry the weight, but he's been racing well and did have barrier 10 last time. He's now into barrier 5, so should be able to get an easier run. Namjong Singh's will be on the pace. And Lyrical Motion, another one hasn't won yet here in Hong Kong, but has been quite consistent. A couple of good placings from him, particularly here at Happy Valley. 10, 1, 3 and 11.
Yeah, I'll settle here with the Classic Posh, and hopefully some lucky breaks come for him. He's likely to be back, no doubt, from barrier number 1, but I think if he gets the sufficient speed, which he should do, he could be running on strongly at the end. Classic Posh, smart idea. I think things went a little bit against him last time out. Still was staying on pretty strongly at the end. Drops of God, he was a bit wide into the first turn and a bit keen. We saw in one of those replays, but again, he stayed on all right. Lyrical Motion down on a mark of 61. He's been consistent without winning here from his 6 runs. He kept on all right last start. So 6, 4, 1 and 11.
I'll go Drops of God, I think, with that weight swing against Valiant Elegance, who still needs to be respected, though, I think, there in the final event.